My word, it's usually just me in the studio. We've got a full house now. Just weeks after S Club 7 announced they were reuniting for a 25th anniversary tour, which actually starts in Manchester next month. They're coming to the AO Arena. I hope you're going. It should be really good. They did receive the shocking news that their friend, basically family member, band member Paul Catamol, had died from an underlying heart condition. Now rebranded as S Club, the band have joined forces with the British Heart Foundation, who are also with us today. Great to have you with us, Charmaine. They want to raise awareness about this. So we've got John, Rachel, Bradley, Joe and Tina, along with Dr. Charmaine Griffiths, who is the Chief Executive of the British Heart Foundation. I've said this to you off air. I am so sorry for your loss. I can't imagine how you all must be feeling right now. It must have been a strange few months.
Yeah, it's been a lot of mixed emotions. It was something that was just such a shock. You know, we obviously had no idea. I think that's what is so important about raising awareness for this campaign, is that it can just come out of nowhere and hit people at such a young age. I mean, Paul was only 46, and didn't have any sort of, as we know, of symptoms. So we're so honoured to be joining with the British Heart Foundation and helping to raise awareness of underlying hidden heart conditions.
It's I just remember feeling completely shocked, you know, and I was just a fan of S Club 7 growing up. And you as a band felt like a huge part of my childhood. So it was, I think a lot of fans felt it as well.
The messages, the love that was shown from people from all over the world was actually quite amazing, and that really did help. So thank you to everyone.
The fans have been absolutely incredible. I feel like we're all going through it together. You know, it's not just us as a band that are going through it. Everyone's grieving the loss of Paul, and we're all sort of supporting each other. We're always so grateful for the fans, you know, and the fans have been just so incredible. So
we have the best fans.
We do.
We love them.
We'll be talking about your Manchester concert very shortly, but I do want to talk more about your campaign, because the research from the British Heart Foundation shows that so many people, as you said, Rachel, are just unaware about the symptoms, the impacts of heart conditions. Dr. Charmaine, if I can bring you in, you know, how common are incidents like this?
Well, the shocking factor this morning is that 1 in 2 of us sometimes in our lifetime will get heart and circulatory diseases. So they're really common. 7.6 million people right now are living with heart and circulatory diseases. And as we've heard this morning, sometimes people are robbed from their families and loved ones with just such devastating speed. And that's why this campaign, the Spotlight On campaign, to raise awareness of heart and circulatory diseases and raise vital funds to power life-saving research, is just so important. And we are so deeply grateful to S Club for partnering with us to raise both awareness through Spotlight On, but also to inspire people to get behind the campaign and support us to help save and improve lives.
And what percentage of those that you just mentioned are aware that they've got a condition?
So many people don't know they have a condition until they're in trouble and something happens, and that's why it can be particularly devastating. Just one stat that always scares me and stops me in my tracks is that every 2 hours, someone under the age of 50 will be taken suddenly by heart and circulatory diseases. They'll pass away. And you just think of those families today around the UK living with that devastation. And so it is something that affects people at all ages, but we have hope. And the hope is that research is showing us every day better ways to predict, diagnose and treat heart diseases. And that's why this campaign to both raise awareness but power more of this life-saving research is just so important.
I mean, were there any indications with Paul's health over the years that something might not be quite right?
No, not at all. He was super excited about doing the tour. He was, out of all of us, I think he was the one. He couldn't wait. He was so excited. He was so excited that we were all together. And you know, we were all getting on great with each other as well. Everyone, you know, making our plans of what we were going to do. We had a Zoom call with him. We all had a group Zoom call on the Monday. Then on the Tuesday, people were trying to get in contact with him and couldn't. And then on the Wednesday, he'd passed away. So
it's so special that we had that time together. Before.
Exactly. And it's great that we can turn something that was obviously completely tragic into a positive, and like Bradley said earlier, if we can help save one person, then this whole thing was worth it.
Absolutely. So, Charmaine, what are the symptoms then? If there's something that you're thinking, I'm just going to ignore that, I'm probably, I don't know, it's having a bad day, but there's glaring symptoms, what should we be looking out for?
Do you know what I always say to people? The best thing, firstly, is just look after your heart. You know, it's such a precious thing, isn't it? It's such a big part of our bodies and who we are. You've got to look after your heart health. So good activity, try and eat a balanced diet, avoid tobacco. But in terms of symptoms, the most common symptoms of coronary heart disease or heart disease can be discomfort in the chest and breathlessness. And if people are starting to experience those, it's certainly a good idea to make sure you go for all your health checks, but also to speak to your GP. What we would say this morning is if someone feels they're having a heart attack, they've got more intense symptoms, then always call 999, because every minute counts, every second counts. So that would be our advice to people today. And there's loads of information on the British Heart Foundation's website, and we have a brilliant heart helpline run by cardiac nurses. So if anybody has a question or query, just turn to us for help.
I wonder as well how many of you can do CPR training, because we did this whole campaign recently on getting CPR training. I don't know whether you can do it.
That's a really good idea. No, none of us can.
I know, and you know what? I think they should teach this in like secondary school as part of the curriculum. Did you?
I can't remember it though.
They should definitely make it a curriculum.
Deal. I'll teach you CPR and you can teach me how to dance.
We already know you can dance, Charmaine.
It's a deal. I like that. That's good.
No, we did a campaign with St John Ambulance actually recently called 3 Ways to Save a Life, and CPR training was part of that. We had a huge response. And sorry, go on, Charmaine.
That's it. Do you know, if anybody's inspired to do that this morning, so CPR is just one of the most precious skills you can have. It can literally save a life when someone has a cardiac arrest, because the sad reality today is only 1 in 10 people who have a cardiac arrest outside of hospital survive, and that's often a loved one in a home, right? So you need to learn CPR. There is a brilliant app called Reviver. It's just Google it, Reviver, and it's a free tool you can use. It takes 15 minutes. My family have done it, mates done it, super easy to learn, and it teaches you and talks you through how to do it. So if you've got 15 minutes today, just have a look, Google Reviver, have a look on the BHF website if you can't find it, and just teach yourself that skill, because it could save a life or a loved one.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You do have your tour coming up.
We do.
How are the preparations going for it?
Really good, yeah. We're into full-on rehearsals. The aching is real. And,
But you're like, my legs.
bit of a shock to the system.
And the other thing is, it's always quite funny. Whenever we rehearse, the sun comes out in like full force.
Yeah.
Before our rehearsals, it was quite nice, like a nice temperature.
Yeah.
As soon as we're in rehearsals, 38 degrees.
Anyway, oh god, yeah, it's really hot. But no, yeah, we're really looking forward to kicking off in Manchester. So we want to see as many people as we possibly can. So yeah, get your tickets.
Yeah.
12th October.
And our first show is dedicated to the British Heart Foundation.
Right, okay, fantastic.
So there'll be
Really special.
there's special merchandise that we have at the tour, that all the proceeds of that will go straight to the British Heart Foundation.
We're
to fund
doing
that
this thing
research.
where you can hashtag show your hearts.
Show your heart.
Show your hearts, and so we want our fans and anyone out there just to do a heart shape with your hands and hashtag it, and then it's going to be featured on the show. So yeah, pictures of you guys out there on the big screen. So get involved.
Get involved.
And if you haven't got a ticket, there's some available. So
come down.
Great to see you. Get a ticket. What are you waiting for? Do you know, whenever I hear one of your tracks, I'm completely transported back to, well, Bring It All Back came out when I was in year 6 at school. I don't mean to age you, but and we used to make up dance for that. Sorry, but we used to make up dance routines, and we all had a role. And I always wanted to be Rachel. I was like, I'm Rachel. I just hate her.
Actually, you look like Rachel. You've got the same hair.
I mean, that is a big compliment. I do not at all. I do have to tell you that we were out a couple of weeks ago for my friend's birthday. S Club party came on.
What happened?
I'd had a few too many drinks, and I jumped off the stage and I did the S sign.
Yes.
You know, yes. And it was anyway.
How was your 8th the next day?
It was shameful.
We won't talk about that.
Fabulous.
That was a different 8. That was a headache. So we'll leave with this. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
So great to have you on. Take care. Thank you, Charmaine.